You ever get the feeling you walked right into a room and everyone instantly decided you didn't belong? That's how my Monday started, standing outside these glittering towers in my beat-up jacket, staring at my own reflection on the glass, clutching a bag that's seen better days, knowing full well I looked nothing like the type this company worshipped. I mean, it's almost funny if you like dark comedy. My name's Emma, and that day was supposed to be my first big break. The one that finally got me out of the little country town where folks don't lock their doors and everybody knows your dog's name. Instead, what I got was a lobby packed with suits gliding across marble like they own the place, side-eyeing me like I'd shown up for the wrong interview. And there, front and center, was Richard, the guy who ran HR like he was still in high school, king of the cliques, always looking for someone to put down. He spotted me before I could even introduce myself. "So, you're Emma," he called out like I just crashed the party. The one from way again, some farm town. The room went quiet enough that I could hear my own heart. Now I could have tried to blend in. But when Richard told me to start at the lonely row of desks near the drafty window, I just nodded and got to work, feeling every pair of eyes on me. He had me copying files, running errands, anything to keep me invisible. But the funny thing about being ignored is it gives you time to listen. And boy, did I hear it all. Whispered bets about how long I'd last. A couple of snickers from the water cooler crowd, and the occasional need help with that country girl with that little smirk like he was testing me. Let me back up a seek. What nobody knew was I didn't come unprepared. Sure, I grew up around cattle and cornfields, but I'd spent every evening for months reading up on this company, learning the lingo, figuring out where I might actually fit in. I just wanted a fair shot, maybe even a little respect. By lunch, I was ready to break down and call my best friend Sarah to tell her I'd made a mistake. Then, as if she could read my mind, her text popped up. "Remember, Em, you know more than you think. Don't let them scare you." That got me through my salad at least. But the real circus came after lunch. Richard, making sure everyone was watching, decided I'd make the perfect coffee runner for the big executive meeting. "Let's see if you can handle this without spilling," he announced loud enough for half the office to hear. My cheeks burned, but I kept it together, weaving through tables with cups rattling on the tray, people throwing me these awkward half smiles, nobody daring to meet my eyes too long. When I finally reached the last table, Richard leaned back his chair, that grin stretching wide. "Since you're here, Emma, how about telling us a little about yourself?" The whole room turned, phones dropped, keys stilled. I opened my mouth, but he cut me off. "No stage fright. Maybe you're more comfortable out with the cows." The laughter this time wasn't even masked. You know what I mean? That moment when you want the ground to swallow you up. That was me. But then, just as I was about to slink back to my desk, a voice piped up from the far and unexpected. A guy I hadn't noticed before. Probably an intern or new analyst. Couldn't have been more than 22. He said, "Hey, let her talk. We've all had our first days, right?" For a second, Richard's mask slipped. The room tensed, curious. Twist nobody saw coming. So, I did something I didn't plan. You spoke. Soft at first, but steady. "Actually, if it's alright, I'd like to share what I've been working on." I pulled up a file on the open laptop nearby. The presentation I'd been building in secret after hours. I noticed some gaps in our digital marketing. I mapped out a few ideas that could boost engagement in our target markets. Slides popped up, charts, did everything I had pored over for weeks. The room changed, eyes widened, whispers grew. One of the senior managers, Gloria, leaned in, brow raised. "You did this on your own?" "Yes, ma'am. From public records, industry reports, customer feedback. I like to know where I'm standing." Even Richard looked rattled. "That's thorough," he muttered. The usual sarcasm didn't land. By the time I finished, people were nodding. The young analyst gave me a thumbs up under the table. For the first time, I saw curiosity instead of condescension. Gloria spoke up. "This is impressive, Emma. We need this energy. Maybe some of us forgot what it's like to see things with fresh eyes." Richard just sat there red-faced. The tide had turned and everyone knew it. But here's where it gets wild, right when you think it's all applause and new beginnings. I dropped the last card. "I owe everyone here the truth. I'm Emma Parker, and as of this morning, I've been appointed as your new CEO." Silence like you just hit mute on the whole office. It took a full beat for the news to land. Some jaws dropped. Couple folks laughed thinking I was joking. But when Gloria stood up and shook my hand, reality snapped in. I wanted to see the company from the inside. No filters, no special treatment, I explained. To understand who we are and where we're headed, you've got to see how people act when they think nobody's watching. I let that hang in the air, watching Richard squirm, watching faces shift from disbelief to something like hope. Let's just say the rest of the week was interesting. The board called Richard in, and he got suspended for his old school approach: no more snide comment to the copier. Turns out people can change their tune fast when the script flips. And yeah, I met with almost everyone, heard ideas, stories, confessions, even a few apologies. That young analyst, now part of my strategy team. You'd think the moral of the story is don't judge a book by its cover, right? But honestly, it's more than that. It's about remembering that any matter how small town, awkward, or underestimated might have exactly what your team needs. And sometimes it takes being pushed to the edge to prove what you're worth. As for Richard, he showed up in my office hat in hand asking if there was any way back. I told him, growth starts with owning your mistakes. We're building something better here. Reef, you want in. It's time to walk the talk. Maybe he'll get it, maybe not. Either way, I'm not here to look back. So, how would you do if you were in my shoes? Ever been written off before you even had a chance? Would you stand your ground or just walk away? I want to hear your take. Drop your thoughts below. Right or wrong? Let's talk about it. After all, that's how real change starts. And if you like this video, kindly thumbs up, and thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.